Meet Gather Chunks. This is a chunk locked account, and my starting chunk will be the Lumbridge Castle chunk. I am starting this journey on a fresh level 3 account. To unlock new chunks and explore new areas, I need to obtain items on the collection log. My goal is to unlock Runescape one chunk at a time with an end goal of the trimmed achievement diary cape. Welcome to Logging Chunks. So I want to focus primarily on combat this episode. My combat stats are looking pretty low, being about 250 hours into the account now. I need to start training these up, which means I need to start training some combat on, well, between quests and NPCs. So first up, I'm going to stop at Hill Giants, get the long bone, and if I get a curved bone or a giant champion scroll, that's a huge win. But I am not sticking around for those. I'm just sticking around for the long bone, because my goal this episode is to obtain the fighter torso. So that's currently about 3 chunks away, maybe 4, as well as 4 collection log items, which total it's going to cost me close to 2 mil just to get that, on top of doing Barbasalt, and nobody really likes doing Barbasalt. Oh, I wasn't recording it for some reason, but there is the long bone. Pretty dry on these items. I still only have 1 giant key and 594 kills. I'm super dry on giant keys, but hey, we got the item we were here for. It's all good. So in the last episode, I obtained the Goblin Champion Scroll, and during that journey, I got a total of 104 beginner clue caskets. I do want to open those. Now, doing the Hill Giants just now got me an additional 3, so I'm up to 107 beginner clue caskets. And the wiki says you can expect 1 unique on an average of 1 out of every 12 clues, which by that is about 9 collection log items I can expect. Now I'm expecting to get a duplicate here and there, so I'm going to round that down to probably about 6. And with the long bone I just got, that's 7. So what I've done here is kind of laid out my 7 chunks I want. And this one is a point of interest because I'm not sure if I actually do need it. But these 3 right here are needed to get to the Barbasalt minigame for the fighter torso, and I can do Waterfall Quest. This one is for the Gnome Village quest, so I can start that, which is additional combat experience. And then 6 and 7 is for the Dragon Slayer quest. Again, all combat related quests that I want to do, and it kind of lines up with 7 chunks. Now I'm pretty sure this is all the chunks I would need to do all of those quests I just mentioned, so I think it's time to go ahead and open these clues. Alright, so here we are. Now in the bank, I do want to show you real quick. We have plenty of cash right now. This would afford about 6 to 7 chunks, maybe even 8. So we're all good there. So let's go ahead and start opening these. Oh, and there is the first item, the Sandwich Lady hat. And there is another item, the Rune Scimitar Ornament Kit, Saradomin version. Oh, and we got the best item, the Dad Slippers. Gotta go ahead and put those on now. Heck yeah, that looks amazing. Oh, and we got the shoulder parrot. We're getting every single good unique from this. Oh, there was another Sandwich Lady hat. Just missed that. Oh, we got the Demon Feet. That's pretty cool. And oh, there is 2 in 1 clue, the Sandwich Lady bottoms, as well as the black pickaxe. Alright, just 4 more. Do we get any more items? The last one? Nope. Okay, I gotta count all this up and see what I got. Alright, so here we are. So we have done now 111 beginner clues. We obtained 7 uniques. All uniques are obtained through those 107 clues we just opened, and in the inventory I have them all in order from the order I got them. So these are the 7 items we got. So with the longbone, that makes 8. I was predicting 7, so pretty much right on par with what I was predicting. And the Runelight tracker says this is a grand total of 1.75 mil. All of it basically is coming from these mole slippers, which I had no idea they were this much money. And then these, basically these 3 items are accounting for 90% of the value, as the other uniques just aren't really that much. We also got 1 duplicate Sandwich Lady hat, so I'm super happy to only get 1 duplicate. So now we have a total of 83 collection log items unlocked to the account. So we have plenty of chunks to unlock, so let's get to it. Okay, so they are back in order, so let's dump all of these items into the collection log tab in the order we got them. And if you are new to the series, this is what our current tab is looking like. All of these platinum tokens have been also used for chunk payments alongside collection log items. Now for the GP cost for all of those chunks, it's going to cost right at about 3.3 mil, and right now I have 2.3 mil in the bank, so I'm going to go make about 1 more mil because I want to have all the money before I start unlocking chunks. So to make the money, I'm going to go ahead and do Bracelets of Slaughter. The Burning Amulets are no longer viable as they're about 3.6k, so they're less money and they require more items to make. So I'm going to make these. The profit right now is about 700 to 800 coins. I think closer to 800 coins, so this should only take about 2 hours, because I can make about 450k per hour making these, as I can make about 600 per hour. Now this has got to be the best fashion scape you've ever seen. I almost forgot about the black pickaxe, but there it is, I just now put it in there. So I just sold everything from the beginners, apart from all of the uniques I got, and I got 76k, so not too bad. I just got a Sergeant Damien random event, and I already have all camo pieces on the account, so I didn't bother to show it, but I actually got all 4 emotes as well as a lamp from just doing it after the fact. Pretty strange. I thought I just got a lamp when I looked. It's like, oh, I got all 4 emotes. So yeah, all 4 emotes now. And this enchant right here is going to be 75 magic. We can now use the Trident of the Seas along with the Blue Moon armor, which is pretty cool. Looking forward to getting 2 Perilous Moons one day. That is huge for the account. We can now use the Trident, which I'm definitely going to buy. Alright, so here is the last batch that we're going to sell for now. So they're selling for that, so let's just put them in for 39.10, see if they sell. Pretty good price on those. They went up a little bit as I was doing them, as this took many moons for me. So let's go ahead and look at the GE history. Now there is a ton in here. It's going to tell you I did 2,000. So I did a total of 2,000. There's 600 sold there, 400 up here, 500 there, and then another 500 here. Tons of both crafting and mage experience, up to 67 crafting now, very close to 68. And again, we got 75 magic from that. So at moment of truth, we're now up to a basically 4.1 mil cash stack. That took, if you're doing it efficiently, 4 hours. I was not. Probably took me closer to 6. You can expect to do that in about 4 hours. So you can make about close to 500k an hour doing that method currently, which isn't bad at all. So on the screen, I'm going to put up a couple of items I got while doing some AFK Forestry on mobile. Yeah, the zombie boots followed by the zombie shirt, which is actually why I went over my original like 3.2 or 3.4 mil, whatever I said. I went over that to get close to 4.2. So now we have all the money, we should at least, to buy at least 9, maybe 10 chunks. I'm going to be using the longbone as well as the Sandwich Lady hat. So that's going to be chunk 76 and 77. So that is going to be 380 and then 385. Into the tab, and there we go. So I'm going to be unlocking these 2 chunks right here, the Gnome Village area, as well as the battlefield right here, to do the Gnome Village quest, because I want to do Waterfall as well pretty soon. Next, actually. And I'm pretty sure Waterfall Quest sends you down here into this dungeon, so it's just, you know, frugal to get this now. Alrighty, and there we have it. So it looks like we got just one music track, 2 music tracks actually. So now we can do the Gnome Village quest. I'm pretty sure we should have all the chunks now. Well, I knew this would happen eventually. I need to go up here to this corner by the underground pass. I guess I had my map zoomed in and I saw this corner and I assumed, but nope, it's at this corner. Thankfully, we have a bunch of chunks in our back pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock one more chunk, being the West RD underground pass chunk. So let's go ahead and pay for that chunk. It's going to be chunk 78, which is going to be 390,000 coins. Into the tab, over 15 mil. Very cool. Now let's go get that chunk and then complete the quest. Oh, and by the way, we are using the Rune Scimitar Ornament Kit Saradomin for that chunk. And this should be quest completed here any second now. And there we have it. There is the Gnome Village quest completed, a ton of attack experience. It's pretty much the only reason why we're doing it, but it's also needed for the future of the account. Let's go ahead and do some chunk unlocks for Waterfall Quest, because we should now have, fingers crossed, all the chunks for that, minus these 3 of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and pay for all 3 of those. So chunks 79, 80, and 81. So that's going to be 395. And now we're entering the 400k bracket. And now 405,000 coins, 1.2 mil to do Waterfall. And here is each item: the mole slippers, the shoulder parrot, and the demon feet. Put those back on, put these back, and there we go, 17 mil now. Let's go do Waterfall Quest. Alright, and there we go. There is each area unlocked. Now, I didn't need this chunk for the Waterfall Quest, but I wanted to go ahead and unlock it because this is where Barbasalt is. So I'm going to go do the tutorial real quick because I think I have to do that to do the minigames teleport up here. So here is why I had that chunk as an interest chunk on the chunk picker. It is right on the border. Now, it'll either spit me out here or here. I don't quite remember. I want to say it'll spit me out here, but I'm not 100% sure. If it does by chance spit me out here, I will go unlock that chunk after the fact, but if it spits me out here, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get that chunk quite yet. It's not going to be very useful right now, so if I can hold off, that would be super good. Oh, you know, I can just teleport out of here. I don't know what I was talking about. Alright, so let's be careful to not left click it. Let's use the urn on the chalice for the Waterfall Quest completed. So much XP and 51 strength as well as 58 attack. Super nice. Alright, and so with those 2 quests now done, I was briefly thinking about doing the Grand Tree quest because I was thinking I just need these 2 as well as the one by Yanil, the Hazelmere. But I also remembered, or I guess I should say, I looked at the quest guide and I saw that you have to go down here to the shipyard, which I don't know how I'm going to get there yet. I know the glider is a physical form of travel. I honestly am brain farting on how to unlock the glider. I want to say it's from the Grand Tree quest, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to focus my attention on Dragon Slayer. So I already have these 2 chunks as marked as 1 and 2, and I believe I'm going to need this chunk actually to telegrab something in this jail cell here, as well as I think my ship is going to be on this dock. So yeah, I need these 3 chunks to complete the Dragon Slayer quest, and I believe that is it. So let's go work on that. Oh, and there is a big woodcutting level. That is level 80 woodcutting now, all from this one area doing forestry. I'm going to go to the bank real quick and show you my forestry stuff. So the current session, which I started this video, we're up to 2,400 U logs, just over, a bunch of nests, good for money, and the total bark we are currently at is 8,472. I'm probably going to be saving up for the funky log shape thing, the thing that you use to recolor the pet. So that's what I'm saving it for now. Probably not this video, but it'll happen. Okay, that is enough forestry for now, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock those 3 chunks for the Dragon Slayer quest. So it's going to be chunks 82, 83, and 84. So it's going to be 410, 415, and then 420, So 1.25 mil to do Dragon Slayer, not too bad. Into the tab, and then I'm going to use these 3 items as those 3 collection log payments. And we just have one more the zombie shirt to use, so we're pretty much all caught up on our chunks now. Alright, so I'm at the part of the quest now where I need to kill Elvarg, and to kill Elvarg I need to go unlock these 2 Crandor chunks. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And there we have it, both of those chunks are now unlocked. Kinda stinks that we need to buy these 2 chunks, but it's for the quest cape, it's all good. And the good thing about it is we don't actually need this chunk, I'm pretty sure, for literally anything. I don't think this is needed for any diary, and we don't need to go down here to the Karamja dungeon because we can access it actually through this dungeon. So that's a good perk, I guess. And I think there's one clue here. Now let's go ahead and travel to Crandor and witness the best animation of all time. Alright, this fight should be pretty easy since we now have overheads, which most people don't when they do this quest. And there we go, we have slain Elvarg, the free-to-play boss. Now let's get the head and then let's get out of here. Alright, so let's talk to Oziach for the final time. And there we have it, the Dragon Slayer 1 quest is now completed. Tons of XP in both strength, 52 strength, and defense, 51 defense. Very good for the account. I skipped out on quite a few early levels. Those levels would have taken about 2 to 3 hours. So I'm glad to be not training combat for an extra 2 to 3 hours at these low levels. Now I do want to mention that we will unfortunately be assigned dragons for Slayer tasks, but by the time we actually get to Slayer, our combats are going to be pretty good, so I'm not really too concerned about that. So another skill that's a part of the combat is prayer, and I'm just arbitrarily going for level 50 prayer. No real reason, just feel like it. So it takes 58 ensouled giant heads to get to that, which costs, as you can see, it was about 50k. And then what I'm going to do is buy the runes, because this I think is still about a 2 GP per 1 XP. I need about 40,000 XP, so it's about 80k. And I didn't mention, but I am 45 prayer, and this is the last reanimated giant for 50 prayer on the account. Very nice to see. I think we got 1 combat level and 5 total levels from that. So now I think I'm going to go ahead back to Hill Giants and get to 60 attack. Once I get 60 attack, I think I'm gonna head to the Barb Assault. There is a 59 attack. Oh, missed the level up, but that was 60 attack. I wasn't paying attention, but there it is. I've killed a total of now 845 Hill Giants, and I only have 2 giant keys. I'm going incredibly dry on these things, so maybe that just means something big's to come. But finally, let's go get that dragon longsword. I've been looking forward to this. Alright, so let's just go ahead and put this in for 60,000 coins. We should purchase this, no problem. There it is. This is not on the collection log. And the D-Semi I can get, but I don't have Monkey Madness 1 done, so I can't use it. Which is why we're going the dragon longsword route, but let's put that on. Now that is a champion for sure. And I can get the rune plate body since I did do Dragon Slayer. But since I'm getting the fighter torso this episode, I don't see the point. So what I'm going to do now is go do those beginner clues that I got from Hill Giants. I stacked them up. So let's go do that and then see how many items we can get from those caskets. Alrighty, let's see what we get here. And okay, that's fine. We got an emote. It's fine by me. Don't need collection logs anyways, it's fine. Alright, so we managed to do all beginners, so we have 7 caskets to open. Just gonna go ahead and open them now. Might get lucky and get one item. And the last one, completely abysmal, but that's fine. We're up to 118 beginners now. Alright, and the Barbarian Assault begins. Now hopefully this doesn't take too long. I've gotten fighter torsos on like maybe 3 or 4 accounts by now, and it's always taken about 4 to 5 hours, so maybe this time it'll take a little less. Alright, and there is all of the attacker points. Alright, and there is all of the healer points. That one took a while. I did not record it, but I now have all of the points for the collector. This is dragging so much. If you've been here, you know everyone leaves in the middle or at the end. It's very frustrating, so I'm almost done with all 4. I am just missing the defender. I've done some, but again, 2 in a row where people left wave 3 or 4, so I'm just going to leave for now and finish this tomorrow. So I just noticed mithril seeds are really expensive for some reason. I'm assuming for PvP purposes. Wow, they sold for almost 62,000 coins, making Waterfall a good quest to do for XP and GP. Look at that. Alright, and there we go. We finally have all of our points needed for the fighter torso. I got all my defender points for that, like at wave 2 or wave 3, but I stuck around because I don't want to be that guy who leaves. But now we have all the points and then some. This took basically 5 hours. 1 hour of that just literally sitting in the wave 1 lobby trying to find a team. Let's go ahead and find the rewards, dude. Scroll down to fighter torso. We have everything we need, including 4 queen kills. Let's go ahead and buy that. And there we have it. The best early game item in the game, the fighter torso. Let's go and put that on. Now that looks real nice. For anyone doing Barb Assault, I highly recommend at least watching a guide. I'm going to link the guide that I used in the description, but definitely check out a guide before you come here. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and put this in the tab. So now we have these 2 items, both torso pieces, to use for the next 2 chunks. But we don't have any money, so we gotta go make some more money. So I have a ton of farming stuff, as you can see here. 1.8 mil there, about 300k here. I'm gonna go ahead and sell these now. And this is all the farming I've done this episode alone, by the way. So we get, wow, and yeah, we get 2.021 mil. Super good. Corms are doing really good for us, getting us a lot of XP too. I'm pretty close to 60 farming as well. But that's another 2 mil back to the cast stack. We're now up to 2.3 mil again, and very close to level 60, which I think I can do a farm run now, actually. Alright, and if we pick this limpwort and put some ultra compost, that is going to be level 60 farming on the account. We can now grow our own yew trees. Yew trees are actually pretty cheap these days, so if I want some good farming XP, I probably honestly would do those. So with the fighter torso now obtained, I want to go ahead and focus my attention to something else, and that is my ranging skill. Now my ranging skill is still level 1, so the only logical way to train that is by doing a quest. So what I've done here is laid out the 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the Golem quest, followed by the Shadow of the Storm quest. Both quests will eventually lead to, obviously, the quest cape and actually Barrow's Gloves, but also Shadow of the Storm gives you a option to put 10,000 experience on any combat skill, and I can choose range for that, no level requirement, and that should get me up to about 27 range. So 1 to 27 range, manually training it obviously takes a while, like at least an hour to an hour and a half, maybe even 2. So I'm going to bypass all of that by doing these 2 quests, but to do so I need these 4 chunks, and right now I have 2 items, so I need to get 2 more. So for the first item, I have some Stardust here. I've been doing some shooting stars on the side while I'm doing some forestry, and big shout out to the One Chunk clan for calling out stars when they're in the drainer and lumberge areas. Also big shout out to them just in general for being such a good support group. But I have enough to get the Celestial Ring uncharged, so let's go ahead and get that. And there we go. So we have 51 Stardust left over, it's fine. We'll get the Star Fragment one day. So I actually just noticed that I'm at 251 hours on the account. So here's to another 250. But you know, I came here to do some forestry to get this last item. Completely forgot that I can actually wield the Dragon Axe now. That is a huge win on the account. So a bit earlier I had mentioned that I want to get the funky shaped log as my next item from Forestry, but I'm actually going to be going for the clothes pouch blueprint. Since it's only 10,000 and I'm very close to that, I'm going to go ahead and get that. Alright, I can't imagine I don't have enough bark now to do what I want to do, so let's go check. Okay, yeah, we have 10,000 bark now. No golden egg, unfortunately. 80 woodcutting. I think that thing's super rare anyways. I think it depends upon your woodcutting level if you get it or not. Let's go ahead and destroy this. Alright, and we are back with all of the logs that we need. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this blueprint. And there is yet another forestry item to the collection log. I'm pretty sure I can't use this because it consumes, I'm assuming it'll consume the item if I use it on the clothes pouch, is also what I'm assuming it's for. But if we take a quick look at the forestry collection log, I'm currently at 12 out of 23. I'm just missing the golden egg, both sets of the forestry outfit and the lumberjack, and the funky shaped log along with the petal garland. So I'm doing pretty well on these, honestly. I think these two are just purely dependent on how good your RNG is. I did get pretty lucky with the fox whistle. And as for the lumberjack, I'm just going to wait to Temple Trek to get that. How much is this thing worth? Wow, that is awful. Alright, let's go ahead and put in the tab. I already put the ring in here, so there is that. Now, we have these 4 items here to unlock those 4 chunks for the Golem and the Shadow of the Storm quest, so let's go ahead and knock those out now. But first, of course, we have to pay for all of these chunks. So chunk 85 is going to cost us 425, and I haven't even done the math yet to see if I have enough cash. I'm assuming I do, but chunk 86 is 430, chunk 87 is 435, too many numbers for me to keep track of right now. And chunk 88 is, what is that? 440. So 440, and there we go. 1.7 mil to do those 2 quests. Could be worse, I suppose. Into the tab, and there we go. Oh, we're up to 20 million platinum tokens paid for chunks on the account, and we're not even at 100 yet. Alright, so here's the little bit of forestry spoils we have from this episode. I think this was about 4,000 to 5,000 bark worth of stuff. Not too bad. I'm predicting this is going to be like close to 400k. And we get a grand total of 432,000 coins. I don't know how long that took me. I had to guess about 4 to 5 hours. Alright, so I am currently heading down to start the Golem quest. And when I get there, I'm just going to go ahead and unlock all 4 of those chunks and then complete the quest. Alright, this is the first time stepping foot into the actual desert. Holy moly, how many music tracks is that? Okay, wow, that is 8 music tracks. Wow. We are currently up to 181 out of 777. And finally, we have all 4 of those chunks, and it looks like we got 1 more music track. Oh, stealing that feather was a medium task in the desert area, which is actually why I had to get this chunk here. But also, I believe the Giant's Foundry quest is going to take me to this area right here, so it's not a completely dead chunk. And there we have it, the Golem quest is now completed. Alright, so with this chunk, we actually get access to the Necklace of Passage teleport up to here. I'm not sure if this is gated behind the Eagle's Peak quest. I'm gonna go ahead and try it now and see if it works. So I think it's this one. It seems like it's gonna let me, and wow, that is pretty good. Pretty underrated. I guess this chunk is actually pretty useful. Alright, I can't imagine I'm gonna have any issues with this fight. I don't know what he uses. I'm assuming magic and melee. Looks like melee right now. Okay. Oh goodness, he's gonna beat me up here. Hopefully I can kill him. I know I just need to do the final damage with the silver light. He might take me out here. I might have to come back. Alright, let's go ahead and re-gear and let's retry that. Alright, and we're back for round 2. Alright, and there we go. I didn't die, you didn't see anything. I'm just gonna cut that clip out. So I'm definitely going to be choosing a ranged for this. That is Shadow of the Storm now completed for 10,000 ranged experience on the account. all the way from 1 to 27, which is exactly why we did it. Super nice, and I totally didn't die. So at the end of the last episode, I had unlocked the Tithe Farm chunk, and conveniently enough, there are a few sand crabs here that I can kill to do some AFK training on. I'm 27 range currently. That's not good enough for this episode. I want to get to at least 50, so I do have a few options here. Only thing is I don't have the accumulator or Ava's device, anything like that, so I'm just gonna have to pick up everything, which is fine. So let's go and gear up and then come back. Alright, so here's what I landed on. 1500 iron knives, which I think should be plenty. Coif, shields, studded stuff, the glory, and the combat bracelet, just as much range offensive bonus as I can get at this current level. And I didn't mention the quest I just did got me an additional, I think 4 or 5, I think it's 5 music tracks. So total, we must have got like 13 or 14 music tracks just by going in the desert. Super cool. I missed the pop-up, but that is 30 range. I'm just going to stick with using the studded for now up until 40, because I don't think the snakeskin stuff will make too much of a difference. Alright, well I absolutely definitely lied there. I'm definitely going to be getting the snakeskin, because I actually looked it up. So right now, with this armor and gear, I'm getting 40 ranged bonus, attack bonus, and I'm getting, yeah, 50 with all of the upgrades. And there is 39 ranged. It briefly popped up, but most importantly, that is 1000 total level on the account. That looks very clean. And we're 1 level away from 40, so yeah. Oh, and I actually missed the pop-up, but there is 40 ranged on the account. We can now use all of our green d'hide, and we can actually use this because we've completed Dragon Slayer, so that's super cool. So this is pretty much best in slot until level 50. Alright, so I just sold my iron knives, and I'm going to switch to using steel darts. They're far cheaper, and they're going to be just a little bit better. So yeah, these things, as you could tell, are like 40 times more GP. So these 1000 should get us all the way to 50, I'm assuming. This should be the last hit for 50 ranged on the account. Never seemed to get the pop-up, but there it is. We got up, I think, to just 1 combat level, 2 hit points level, and yeah, all the way from 27 to 50 range, just AFKing the sand crabs. Total time, maybe about 4 to 4.5 hours. So here are the current chunks, and the chunks that I got this episode are in order and in green. Every single chunk that we got this episode is on this side of the map, but I will go ahead and show you Kourend real quick. And here is Kourend. Nothing's changed on this side of the map, but this is what we have over here. Now that we have these combat stats looking pretty good, I think now is a perfect time to go ahead and end it here. In the next episode, I will be unlocking my 100th chunk on the account, which means 100 collection logs on the account, and I am so looking forward to that. So we definitely accomplished a lot in this episode, mainly with questing and in the combat skills specifically, which I am super pleased with. And we got 1 out of the, I don't know how many pieces of the Barb Assault minigame stuff. I definitely have a ton of work to do in Barb Assault. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but we gotta get it done. But with all that being said, we finally have the Fighter Torso, definitely the best early to mid-game upgrade you can make on any account. And if you did enjoy today's video, please drop a like, please drop a sub, it will help me out tremendously, and thank you very much for that. So I will see you next time.